Mine started when I was 19. I had a disease called glomerular nephritis, which affects the kidneys. And at the age, I think I was 34, I started dialysis. I went on dialysis, and I was on dialysis for 8 years. And 5 years ago, on the 22nd of August, I received my transplant. It was August 22nd, 2007, and life's really good. I really love it. So I'm here today to help Paul in his runs to Sydney, so it should be fun. With the group, I met Paul in Sydney last year at the golf day, the Second Chance Golf Day, and I heard his story about his wife and his 3 kids, and you know, that's, to us, without donors, I wouldn't be here today. It's very important to have donors, otherwise you know, would have cut my life short by quite a few years. And my contribution is to Paul is to help him on his way, and you know, this is very important to raise a lot of funds, so keep the donor message going and to become an organ donor.
Yeah, it does start today. We're really excited. We've been working towards this now for quite a few months. The fact that we're here in Federation Square on a beautiful Melbourne, sunny, very cold morning, can't feel the tips of the fingers. In about 2 hours time, we're going to be running out of Melbourne, which we just can't believe. We've got our artwork up there on the big screen, and yeah, everyone's nervous, really excited, just can't wait to start. So it's a really beautiful morning.
Oh, how am I feeling? It's a, I'd like to say I'm not nervous, but I am, in a way, but it's just really excited. It's just an unreal thing, and like coming out this morning and looking at the weather, and it's just all amping up to be awesome.
Yeah, well, a few months in the planning is right, Sam. Much headspace has been taken up with not so much the running, but definitely the organisation of it. But it's good to get here and feel the nerves and get running. I think we need to get it on.
I feel relieved that we're finally here. You get to a point where there's no more planning that can be done. You've just got to actually want the day to come, take that first step. So that's how I feel. I feel relieved we're here, and all our hard work now looks like something very real.
I'm trying to just think of it as, you know, a heap of different runs broken up, some training runs along the way. So I'm just trying to think, you know, it's an hour and a half shift, and it's just, you know, one step after the other, and you'll make it there. So
yeah, really excited actually. It's as you say, a lot of planning's gone into this. I can't believe we're actually here. It's the start of obviously a really big event. A lot of the guys have done a lot of work, a lot of training, a lot of preparation, a lot of planning. Really excited to get going.
Pounding the pavement for hours on end. It's been hard training, but hopefully we've all prepared, not just myself, we've all prepared ourselves. None of us have ever done this before, so it's really the unknown of backing up, running 9 hours at a time, not every 9 hours. So, but you know, hopefully we'll all get there safe and sound and fit and well and enjoy ourselves along the way.
You know, so many people have said, you know, oh, it's starting, how are you feeling? And I can't explain. It's just so many things. It's a combination of hard work and excitement and sleepless nights and highs and lows of getting let down, and then people coming through with amazing offers of kindness. And we're actually here, and all of that is just going through me, and I can't put, yes, I'm excited, yes, I'm scared, yes, I'm nervous, yes, I'm really emotional, yes, everything. Like, I don't know, there isn't one word to capture all of that. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
Excited, apprehensive, excited and more excited. No, I think you know, the 3 or 4 months or 5 months that we've sort of been planning it has finally come to fruition. You know, flying down yesterday, preparing the vehicles for our trip, meeting here this morning in, you know, centre of Melbourne. Yeah, really looking forward to getting on the road and getting this thing happening and seeing, you know, the 11 people that are involved in it. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be great. We're going to have a big week.
Everyone's done a good amount of training. We're all, you know, experienced runners, and we're confident in our ability to get us there. We're great. Very grateful to have a support crew along with us to keep us safe and in good shape. And yeah, we can't wait for the road ahead.
It's scary to think about what we're doing and when we're running, what times we're running and everything, but it's yeah, what we're doing it for is the exciting part. Just whatever comes along in our way is whatever happens. I'll just take things as they come. So looking forward to it.
I'm excited, yeah. I can feel a little bit of tension, a little bit of want to just get some exercise done and get on our way. It's nice to be here and the sun's out and nice stage, and it'd be good to be running soon.
It is a long way, such a long way. And it wasn't until we were flying down yesterday I stopped and I thought to myself, have I really thought about how far this is? But you know what, it's too late. I've committed, I've said yes to doing it, and I want to do it. Like there's no way I would ever stop and turn around and go, oh no, I just can't. It's something that I really want to do.
And you know, when we're looking at, when times are tough, when we're, you know, going at 2 a.m. in the morning, that's when, you know, I think our bodies will be fine, but mentally we just need to pull together and work as a team and get through it.
I think from the support crew, I think we've ticked all our boxes so far. There's obviously going to be circumstances come up on the road that we perhaps couldn't have planned for, but I think we've got enough talent in the crew to get around any instance. So on that side, yes. The runners I can't really speak for. I know I'm a substitute backup runner if someone unfortunately gets injured. I'm probably a little bit underdone personally, but we'll work that out on the road, and hopefully I'm not needed.
It's exciting. It's putting aside the reason why we're running, the physical challenge. You know, it's something that none of us have ever done before. So you know, it's really running a marathon a day, even not in one block, but it's running a marathon a day virtually for the 4 days. So yeah, for anybody to do that, it's a daunting task, and you know, cars flying past and on the highway, but looking forward to it.
Now we're actually at the start line. Now that you can actually realise how far ahead it is, and I'm just going to approach it one run at a time, one drive at a time, and one sleep at a time. I'm just going to take it one by one, bearing in mind I've got to back up for the next time. So I've got to make sure I take care of myself after my run, make sure I'm eating, make sure I'm drinking, make sure I'm resting wherever possible, making sure I've got everything ready for the next bit, but I'm just doing it one at a time, because otherwise it's too daunting and it could go wrong. So it's just a step at a time. That's my plan.
It is a big challenge. Melbourne to Sydney is a long way. I think like any big challenge, we need to make it in bite-sized chunks and just get along our way, but it's a long way. Big challenge, no sleep, tired, cranky. Looking forward to Friday night.
Well, first and foremost, and I can't lie, when I was told about a run from Melbourne to Sydney, I thought, wow, I would love to do that, because that would be such a good thing for me, such a good personal achievement. Not many people can say that they've run from Melbourne to Sydney. And then Paul sat down in Pete's lounge room and told us his story of Suzette and when she passed away. I just thought, wow, you know, this thing is so much bigger than me and what my personal goals are, and it is a real valid reason to want to do this, and that first and foremost is the cause, which is Transplant Australia.
Why am I doing it? I just think it's, you know, it's a one in a lifetime opportunity really to be able to achieve something like this, and what better way than to do it for a great cause, you know. So ideally, you know, it's just a great sort of gig to do it with your mates, and yeah, looking forward to it.
I've always been interested in these kind of events, perhaps not necessarily as an athlete, but it's always interesting to see what goes on with these, how much you get involved. I've always been interested in it, and the opportunity arose, so yeah, great to be part of, and also because of the cause itself. I think it's very important. I've been a donor for many years, have my donor card, so don't forget to get your donor card, I guess is the key. And yeah, particularly when we heard Paul's story, very touching, very moving, and I couldn't wait to be part of it. Initially I was locked out because they had enough people, and then they said no one needs, so I was really keen to get back in and have a go. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
A few reasons. One is obviously to raise awareness, obviously for the cause of organ donation. Two is a physical challenge, but probably most importantly for me is obviously to honour Suzette's memory. She was an organ donor, and you know, she's helped 6 different people somewhere out there. So you know, that was probably the main reason, obviously for me, and all the others are sort of secondary.
It's one of those things that I'm in a position I can do it, I can help, and it's an important issue that needs to be raised. And I'm in a position where I have the time, I've got great support around me, where I can take this week out of my everyday life and do something for somebody and raise awareness that hopefully will benefit somebody. My 1 week could help somebody who's been struggling weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And if my 1 week can help somebody who's been hurting and worried and can give them something, then that's a bonus. So I'm doing it for all those people that need something, and for all those people that aren't in a position to help, but I'm in a position to do it. So I'm doing it for me as well, because I actually think that Transplant Australia is an amazing thing, and organ donation is something that's really important. It's one of those yucky topics you don't want to bring up, and starting the conversation is tricky, but once you start talking about it, people will say, yes, it's important, it's what we should be doing. But because it's about the other end of our life, and it's got all those yucky connotations of death, people don't want to talk about it. But if you talk about it as doing something for somebody else, and that's why our name is so great, The Greatest Gift, it's a positive, and it makes it easier. So if I can get people talking about that, that's why I'm doing it.
I think I was made aware of organ donation. It's something that I always believed in, but I didn't realise that just ticking the back of your licence just wasn't sufficient enough. And then realising just how clever Australia is, in the sense of, you know, we are the best transplanters, but we are the worst givers of organs. And I think that's really, really sad for a country like ours, where, you know, our whole ethos of Australianism is helping your mate. So yeah, so we can make a little bit of awareness of what we're doing. I think that's fabulous. I'll be happy.
So we've got a scarf, and then layers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Look at the Abadabbas.
Yep. That. 1, 2. And the orange.
Still going.
7.
7 layers. We got a winner.
7.
It's cold.
Are you just going to strip off a layer each day,
Get somebody
and then
to
by the
take-
end of the week you'll still be dressed?
Strange, I just you take. I don't mind if you take the kidneys or the liver, but not the eyes.
Yeah.
Not the eye. And I said, well, so you when you get to quote heaven, you're going to be walking around with no heart, no lungs, no kidneys, but you don't want to be blind. Is that what you're trying to tell me? It doesn't make sense. One of the reasons that the organ donor people, the people opposed to donors meeting recipients or donor families, is for a variety of things. One is what I call the Kerry Packer, and I can see parts of this argument, the Kerry Packer argument, that say the family who now know that I got their son's liver, could say, well, geez, Hinch is worth a bit of money, we want, when he goes, we want some of his money. Or and then Kerry Packer say, well, you're worth $1 billion, why, we're keeping you alive, why we'd like 100 million, thank you. So that is one of the reasons. Well, another part of the reason is the sadly, even in this country, somebody may say, oh, I wanted, my child died at 10. I thought he would go to another child. I didn't even go to a 50-year-old black man or 50-year-old Asian person. So that inherent racism comes in. You had the idea that some other little child is growing up, when it doesn't always work that way.
No. It's the next best fit, isn't it?
Yeah, and so, in the case of when an adult liver can often be chopped into 3 pieces and 2 kids get it and somebody else gets it. It's extraordinary what they can do.
It's
At one stage I was going to have, they thought, a resection, which is they cut half your liver off and your liver regrows in about 6 weeks. But in my case it was too far gone. It's very funny, I've held my liver in my hand. I've seen it, held it in my hand. And my wife was with me, and she said to the pathologist, she said, do you see many as bad as that? And he said, usually at autopsies. And I said, doctor, I said, how long do you reckon I had? He said, well, now we've got it out and looking at it. He said, I reckon about 2 weeks. And I turned out, I was talking to the surgeons later on. He said, your liver function was down to 20%. And I said, well, how come I was on air the night before? I mean, I was feeling fine. I wasn't sick, I was doing well. And he said, but what you didn't realise was that your body was overcompensating for all the problems. And so your body was just doing everything it should have done to try and counteract, and it couldn't keep going. He said, we figured you at 20%, if it got down to 18%, we'd have taken you off the list. So you're within 2% margin of being taken off.
Is that because the other parts of the body are starting to get
that's
overworked,
starting to shut down? That's starting to crack down,
Yeah.
Okay, boys, we're running from Melbourne to Sydney. Do you want to come with us?
Yeah! Are you sure?
Are you sure about that?
Is school really that bad?
Do you think we can make it? Yeah! We're gonna do it.
Darren Hinch, and I'm here with this team, led by Paul Burke here, who's now going to run in a few minutes, going to run from Melbourne to Sydney. Okay, how many of you could run from Melbourne to Sydney? Thank you for that. And I'm going to do this because I'm doing it as part of a campaign to make people aware of organ donations, and it's people of your generation who are going to be so important to all of us about donating your organs and talking to your family about it. I know you're so young and it doesn't affect you, but I can say from very personal experience that this time last year I was almost dead, and if it hadn't been for somebody, a family, deciding to donate their loved one's organs, I would not be here today. I wouldn't be standing here talking to you, wouldn't be launching this run. So it is important. Australia does have one of the smallest and lowest organ donor rates in the world. It's one thing we beat New Zealand in, so we just beat them in the Olympics. We also beat them in organ donation, but only just. That's a start. But what they're going to do now, they're going to run in relays here from Melbourne all the way to Sydney. It's nearly 1,000 kilometres, and it's all because in 2010, Paul, he ran in the half marathon here. I think I'm right in saying this. He wasn't here, half marathon, and tragically, his wife Suzette died of a brain aneurysm only a few weeks later. Paul and his family wisely, bravely, and in their grief decided that her organs should be donated as part of the organ donor program, and 6 people are now alive because of the generosity and the understanding and the wisdom of Paul and his family. He gave up marathon running because of the tragedy with him, and he's got 3 kids, and they urged him to keep running. He has since then. He ran in the 2011 marathon, the Melbourne Marathon, and now he's back with his team, all volunteers, all going to run now, and all from Sydney, going to run from Melbourne to Sydney. So thank you for coming. It is a wonderful cause. Go home, talk to your family about it, because even in this country, strangely, even if you decide that that's a good idea, I should donate my organs, unfortunately, it's still in this country, according to the practice, families can overrule you. And so you won't be here, but your parents or your relatives can say, no, we don't like the idea. It's a wonderful thing. It is the gift of life. It's an extraordinary thing. And I think about it every day, because without people like Paul, I would not be walking around, would not be alive, would not be causing trouble here in Melbourne. So there we are. So thanks very much for coming, and enjoy your day. Thank you.
See ya!
Ready to go? Why am I
Watch one fighter satellites back.
slight detour.
Hooray! This is like the first leg, do my little dance.
Is that it? Run over?
We got lost.
What's the story? Story
longest K I've ever run.
Street. Yeah.
We're off to the first transition point, which is about 11 k's out of Melbourne, somewhere near Ford, and we're going to visualise the boys doing their first swap over. So that way then we'll be able to just make sure that everybody's got their equipment, because then this vehicle will be travelling on to the first major transition where we actually swap 3 runners, drivers, that type of thing, which is roughly about 45 kilometres. So at the moment we're trying to find Karen and Paul, who are doing the first run together.
Yep.
I've got a car behind me so I can go a bit slower.
We can bip at him. Get booked for not using.
Go big fella! Yeah! 850 to go!
Greatest Kev!
Go the dogs!
Car coming up.
Alright, you got at least 30.
Should have a break, Pete.
Okay.
Oh, the Nestle factory.
Oh, is it?
It's a big building with Nestle on it.
Alright, we're out of here.
So how's it going so far, Pete?
You doing good, Pete?
Yeah. So what do you think would be the toughest parts of this run?
For the runners?
Yeah.
Having to talk to Joel while they're running.
Trying to stay in this seat without falling off. I'm going to put my seatbelt back on. Oh, well, for us, initially it was the navigation, getting out of Melbourne. But that was an easy run. The wind would be really tough because it's right against him. Like he's trying to run this way and the wind's going the other way. It's hard enough with all the traffic as well. So he's going to be pretty spent, I think, once he's finished, and will probably cool down very fast. So it's really important once he finishes to get in and get out of his wet stuff and into something warm, and maybe even have a hot drink if he can or if he feels like it. Whoops, there goes more gear.
You big fella.
Go Crackers!
Well
yeah!
It's only in drive.
Yeah, it does, I think.
Is there something on the dash that tells you
Yeah,
what
one.
gear you're in?
Yeah.
Beautiful. That'll make life easier.
But enough protection.
You don't want to get far enough back that
Somebody can pull in
front of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then she can burn up.
Just You want to yell out to her?
I'm sure that's what you'll do.
Yeehaw!
Is it safe to turn around yet, Shuey?
So my opinion of the first run was it was hard while I was out there. Now I've finished it, I feel very good. Not because I've finished it, but because I don't know, it's a good achievement. There was, and you can still see there's stacks of trucks. That makes it really hard. They just come one after the other, and they feel like they're going to blow you off the road. And then there's the headwind as well. And so the trucks and the headwind, you got wind coming at that your way, truck winds coming at you that way. Hills, I got a hill from hell, which was hard. But overall, I mean, I sound very negative, don't I? Which is crazy, because that's certainly not what it was. It was a very good experience, very different experience, because I've not run for that long on such a busy road before. It's obviously not the most pleasant place to run, but we didn't come here for scenic runs, did we? We came here for a purpose, and that's what we're doing. So overall, tick that one off. 8 more to go.
Done good.
Yeah. It's going to be a very different run the next time because it's going to be dark. So probably not a lot learned this time around because I always run in the daytime. But yeah, ask me that question again after running at night with a car behind me with the lights on, because there's so much wind and so much traffic out there, you don't really notice the support car is there. You know it's there because that was the plan, but you don't hear it because there's all the traffic whizzing past and the wind is in your ears. But tonight, hopefully there won't be quite so much traffic, and whether the wind's died down, but obviously you're going to see the lights behind you, so that'll probably be the biggest difference. And yeah, maybe I'll learn something from that. Wait and see. Is it? That'll be my stuff. I stink. I should have sprayed deodorant in the bag. No, it's in my backpack as well as being tied up in a bag. That's how smelly my stuff gets. What?
Is it not your orange jacket back here?
No, it's not. Mine's in my bag. Why? What'd you do to it?
No, I think you're safe.
Ah.
Well, I've got an orange jacket back there, and it's got some lumps in it.
You got no excuses. It stinks.
It's got a phone and a wallet in it somewhere, and a hat.
Oh, we're under 800 now. Well and truly.
Yeah, we just
790.
burned off another 9. We've actually got Wodonga on the map.
I think that'll be about
24 to Shemore.
Wodonga's about 7.
Means we're going to be more than 5 short, Shuey.
Really?
It was 24. You're going to do 15. Nathan's got 14 minutes left.
788.
What was that flag?
Yeah, good work. Keep going, go mate. Good work. Get into it. Oh mate, it was actually harder than expected. Yeah, the headwind didn't help. There was a severe northerly hitting us straight in the face, and when you hit the hills, it makes it real tough. So yeah, it was a tough first run, but it was good to get that one under the belt and have a bit of a stretch now and get some rest before the next one in 9 hours. So it was great. Probably try to vary it up between running on the grass and the pavement. After about 45-50 minutes, I was finding the camber on the pavement starting to give me some grief on my the balls of my feet just from being on that angle. So I think jump on one side for about 5-10 minutes and jump onto the grass for the other, for another 5-10 minutes and just keep rotating so you don't get that repetitive incline or decline.
When a woman
Chewy running into the
such a
sunset.
situation leaves a man and might have a relationship, she is pilloried.
That's true.
Some of the things that are done and said are so barbaric, we just have to acknowledge it.
Now, Phil, what confuses me a bit is that there were moves made about changing the laws, especially in the state of Victoria, about justifiable homicide and provocation and how much of provocation could be allowed, permitted in court. But when you watch those programs like last night, it doesn't seem that much has happened at all. No. Remember?
In the end, it was an attempted murder, but it was still played down, and he still only got, I think it was 7 or 9 years.
Yeah.
He stabbed her 9 times. He just missed her half lung.
I think the totally different picture. Thank you. Dale, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, Darren.
A man called Paul Burke and 6 other runners and 4 support crew, and they were there because they started today running from Melbourne to Sydney. Now, it's an amazing story because Paul Burke ran the Melbourne's half marathon in 2010, and he was met at the end of it by his wife Suzette and their 3 young children. And he said he'd go back the following year and run a full marathon. But 6 weeks later, his wife died of a brain aneurysm, and his kids, he lost interest in running, understandably, but his kids said, "You should do it again, Dad." And last year he did come back to Melbourne from Sydney, and he ran the Melbourne Marathon, and he decided that he would do something even more than that to try and bring awareness of about organ donations, etc. Because when Suzette died, he made the decision and he donated her organs, and 6 individuals got a second chance at life through her gift. So it is the gift of life, and that's a gift of life run. They call their website thegreatestgift.org.au. And when I last saw him, he was in at the corner of Flinders Street and St Kilda Road at Fed Square. Now I want to find out where he's got to. Mr. Paul Burke, good afternoon.
Hi, Darren. How are you?
Well, I'm well. Where are you?
About 20 kilometres south of Seymour at this stage.
Okay. Now, I saw you heading off up Russell Street. What was it like, the first stage?
For myself, it was really good. It was obviously hard negotiating the city traffic, but once we hit Sydney Road, it was straight on and out, and ran for an hour and a half myself with Karen in the first leg, and it was good. It was windy, it was cold, but we had fun. And that's the main thing.
Yeah, well, as I said in my introduction, you had tragedy in your life. I mean, you'd run the half marathon in 2010, totally unexpectedly. Suzette wasn't ill, and she had a brain aneurysm, and just totally your life was suddenly thrown into absolute turmoil.
Correct, yeah. It was, almost coming up to 2 years ago now, and I made that promise to her that I would run the Melbourne Marathon 12 months later, and as you said, I did that. And I thought while I was out running one day, why not put a meaning behind running? So I ran for Transplant Australia last year and raised almost $14,000. And then this year I stumbled across a group of really kind-hearted people who, 6 other runners and 4 support crew who I did not even know until 4 months ago. And they're all on board and right behind the cause, and there's been so much organisation which has gone into this event, and from my end I have to thank them because it's been fantastic, and we're all getting closer, obviously through every stage of the run.
Yeah, I wish you had more media there to support you today, because it's a fantastic thing that you are all doing, and you'll end it at the playground at your children's school, is that right?
Yes, 11 o'clock Friday. We will be there, hopefully all in good time. We've planned the run so that we've allowed enough time for us to get there. So, you know, it's not as if you're driving to the corner shop that you can estimate what time you'll be there, but I'm sure we'll be there in plenty of time. We might be able to have a bit of a break before we do the running to the school.
Well, I know now that you're not doing a Cliffy Young, you're not wearing gumboots, you're not running all the way through, just you. You're now going to have, you do it in sort of relays. How long will each of you run every session?
We run for an hour and a half, so we've estimated around about 15 kilometres every hour and a half for each runner. And then after that, you have a 9-hour break, and that's a 9-hour running break. It's not a total break, because within that time you need to drive the support vehicle and be a passenger in the support vehicle. So you probably only get a true rest of, you know, maybe 3 or 4 hours in the Winnebago to have a lay down and a sleep.
Well, when you look at your timing there, I mean, you've got to come back from a few hours sleep and a bite to eat, and then you're heading off again at speeds about 10, 12 k's an hour, 10 k's an hour.
Yeah. My next shift, I did the 9:30 to 11, and I'll be on again at 8 o'clock tonight till 9:30, and I think I'll back up about 6 or 6:30 tomorrow morning. So, and I'm going to have a couple of midnight shifts and a 2 a.m. and everybody's in the same boat. And it's, you know, I think come day 4 we'll all be very tired, but something that we're all looking forward to doing.
Well, it's wonderful what you're doing, Paul. We'll keep in touch. I'll call you again tomorrow, see where you are.
Fantastic. Thanks for your time, and thanks for this morning.
Okay, mate. Bye-bye. Paul Burke. Okay, we'll take one quick call before we go to the news headlines. Tony Tardio. Helen, good afternoon.
How did you guys feel with all the tooting and everything?
It was good. I liked the tooting.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
Gives a bit of motivation.
Yeah.
Bit of support.
On the hill, though, I felt like...
Pull up and
Going on
pick
that
me
hill.
up.
At Perry and Hutton Road, and due to a in Somerville, Frankston Flinders Road.
Look at the cows. I'm looking at us like, what the hell?
Yeah. Even the cows will run up with you.
Yeah, they even think we're crazy. Check them out. They're running with us.
Are they?
Yeah, they were. Here they come, see? Shuey the cowman.
Way. Looking a bit tight from Keilor Park Drive to Belmont Road. The West Coast Freeway is a bit tight at the city exit going.
No, more cattle are running.
We've got more cattle running next to us at the moment. And llamas.
They're all excited.
The llamas.
We got the whole lot running.
Alright, see you, mate. They're still behind us, Hands.
Yeah, I thought they were.
They're going to leave in a little bit, and they'll catch up and sit behind us.
Yep. It's all right, Shuey, I'm here. I wouldn't leave you out here, mate.
No, he's got a hill.
Oh no.
Yo.
How do you calculate this hill, Di? Like, are you going to give it out of 10?
I don't know. What did my one look like approaching it from...
47.
What do you mean 47?
Well, out of 10, it was a 47 hill.
The one that I did?
2 hills you did.
Yeah, I know, but the
They
second
just
one...
kept going and going and going.
Yeah, but the first one felt like that, but not the second one. Was the second one not as...
It looked just as bad.
It probably wasn't as steep as this.
No.
It just went for ages.
The one I did didn't seem as steep. Did the one I do, was it as steep as this one?
No.
No, hopefully it's not as long.
It went for about a K.
Oh, was that all?
Maybe
Felt like it went forever.
You were pretty well into your stride, so the second one probably didn't feel as bad, but Nathan was cheering.
I did feel the second one, that it was a hill, but it didn't feel like the first one did. I think Shuey's a bit of a favourite so far.
It's probably the time of the day.
We're getting a bit skinny up
The
here.
shoulder's getting a bit narrow.
I don't think there's going to be a shoulder.
there's not.
He's legging it.
Yeah, he's giving it to it. How long is this rotten bridge?
I reckon he'd be almost over. He was getting into it. Crap. Could there be any more?
Yeah, there's a big one.
Terrible timing. Oh, he's well and truly over though.
It's alright, mate, we're back. We are back. Good on you, champ.